Karen. I kind of came to my Parkinson's diagnosis through another doctor. I initially was sent to see a neurologist in Wilmington, and he spent about 10 minutes with me and then basically just said, "Hey, I'm pretty sure you have Parkinson's," handed me a prescription for some medicine, said, "This probably isn't going to work, but you can try it anyway. Go ahead and go outside and schedule yourself for an MRI." And he walked out the door. Didn't ask me if I was okay. Didn't ask me, any questions, if I had questions or didn't understand. And, I was, of course, extremely upset at that point. And my worst symptom has been my tremors. And we had at that point planned a cross-country trip to Oregon. It was a challenging trip. It definitely, when we got there, I had more issues with my tremors, ended up at the emergency room. I did some research, and I don't know, I liked Dr. Iyer's, bio. I liked the website. That's where I wanted to start. So in sharp contrast to my first appointment, Dr. Iyer, at that first appointment, I was upset, obviously I was just struggling with a lot of things. And the nurse came out into the waiting area, sat with me, talked to me, calmed me down before we even went back into the office. And then once we got back there, she, did, of course, all the vitals and all that kind of thing. And then Dr. Iyer came in and he spent, I don't know, probably an hour with us at least. I mean, it was such a different experience. I felt like, like he had all the time in the world and I could have been his only patient that day. That's how it felt to me. He listened to everything I had to say. And that's always the case when I go in there. I just feel like everyone's super welcoming. They, are efficient, they get things done, but they don't make you feel like you need to, hurry up and get back out again. They always make you feel like they have time to listen to whatever you have to say. Very good about, answering questions and concerns and that kind of thing. So compared to the experience I had before, obviously this was a much warmer environment, much, it was easier to take a diagnosis that I knew that he had spent his time, coming to, and the way that he delivered it and was very encouraging. And, I felt pretty calm at that point, really. I just felt like I was in good hands. And my experience ever since then has, been pretty much the same. He prescribed medication that pretty much has my tremors under control. When I was first diagnosed, I also had some heart issues. And so, trying to figure those two things out, what was causing, the most amount of problems. Again, even with that, Dr. Iyer was very good about communicating with my cardiologist and making sure that he knew what was going on with my Parkinson's treatment, because my cardiologist was understandably nervous about doing surgery until he felt, confident with the other diagnosis. So the communication there was really good as well, which was helpful.
The one thing that's really been nice is obviously we spend time and energy looking at research outside of the doctor's office on the internet. Karen is also on the Michael J. Fox internet, listening to different podcasts. He's willing to discuss the views of some of the research that we've looked at, and it's just nice. So, but for me, Dr. Iyer provided some direction, because we had gone 4 or 5 weeks without any direction, and there was nothing but a lot of concern and nervousness.
If I email with a question or a concern, I don't think I've ever waited more than maybe a day, usually not even. They usually get back to me the same day if I have a concern or question. They respond immediately, which is really reassuring too. So through him, I got onto the Parkinson's Buddy Network, and I've made a friend in the area that has Parkinson's. And I think, that's what my husband's a huge support, but it's nice to talk to other people that are going through some of the same things that you are.